What up, YouTube? It's your boy BishopLo on the go. I'm in the bed, man. I've been in the bed all day. And I'm out of it today with this stomach. Shit. Got yet another death. My man Tyvian. Tyvian Reese Corey. Great guy. He was my roommate in the group home number 5. Shout out to group home number 5, Nyack, New York. Tyvian was a great guy, man. He was a musician through and through. He was a talented. Oh shit, we was in the band together too, Nyack Senior Band. We damn sure was. We were bandmates. Yo, man, we were bandmates in the Children's Village. As I was a steel. I don't know if you ever heard of steel drums. I was the leader of a steel drum uh, band when I was a kid. It was 13 of us, and there was 2 leaders, me and Tyvian Reese Corey. And man, we were rivals because we always wanted to outdo each other. Got a comment? Who's that? Yo, what's up, Spoon Trey? What's good, dog? Damn, OG, hope you feel better soon. Thank you, man. I'm fucked up today, man. I'm fucked up. It's bad. The stomach is bad. I think I figured out the stress. I believe stress brings on the attacks in my stomach. But I was gonna start doing story time. Oh, let me stay with Tyvian. Hold on. Let me stay focused. My man Tyvian, man, may he rest. Um, we were bandmates as children in the residential treatment facility that I lived in called the Children's Village in Dobbs Ferry, New York. And we were also bandmates in high school, Nyack High School, because we both went to Nyack Group Home. We were roommates in Nyack Group Home. And I helped him assemble his mixtape collection. He used to make mixtapes, man. He had 1,000,000 fucking tapes. And he had them wooden racks on the wall and shit. Tyvian, man. He was deaf in one ear, so he would keep one headphone on and one headphone off. But he always had his headphones on. That was his signature, his trademark, headphones. Died from a heart attack, man. It's crazy because last week I was on the phone with him because I've been having chest pain. He was a diabetic just like me, and I've been having chest pains. One love, Spoon Tray. And I was having chest pains. I'm still having them. And he called me last week and he told me he was having chest. I was coaching him through his diabetes because he did not want to lose no limbs and he was very afraid of his diabetes killing him. So I helped him, coached him through. I told him, listen, man, you need to look up, different recipes because he wasn't eating right. Preaching to him all the shit that I ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? But I done been there, done that. So Ty being gone, man, from a heart attack. I think he was a year older than me. Maybe 2 years older than me. I'm 49. He might have been 51, I think. He lived in New York. And it's sad, man. Heart attack. All right. So I was I'm contemplating doing story time about my life. What a horror it's been growing up in the system, foster care system, and the child relocation system of New York City. And then I was gonna tell some stories of when I was a security officer and then going on to become a police officer, then a detective. But, just stories of my life. But I was interviewed by, shout out to Hustler Spirit channel. Y'all need to check it out if you haven't already. I was interviewed by the host of Hustler Spirit, and I didn't even realize that the world is so used to bullshit that when truth is presented, it's not received as truth. So what I'm saying is that a lot of people a lot of viewers to that interview called me a liar. And one thing I don't have to fucking do is tell a lie. Now, there was a time that I was a great liar. I sold cars for, and still do, for over 25 years. So, I used to lie a lot just to close a deal, to get the deal done. I got paid a lot of money to lie. But, see, here's the flip side of that. I don't get paid to lie no more. And here's another thing. I don't give enough of a fuck about your feelings to lie to you. That makes sense? I don't. I really don't. I don't give a fuck about. I don't give enough of a fuck about your feelings to lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you to make something more palatable or make something more easy for you to digest. No, I'm gonna give you that shit just like it is, and either you can fucking handle it or you can't. That's who I am. Story time will definitely bring more viewers. So you think they'd be interested in hearing? You think the world will be interested in hearing stories of a 7-year-old black child living in the subway stations of New York City, talking to the rats and playing with the rats because they didn't bother him or abuse him? You think they want to hear stories of a city bus driver getting locked up on the bus because he received a pound of weed, because he bought a pound of weed, had a pound of weed delivered to him while he was working driving the city bus? You think they want to hear stories of, I'm not going to tell no police stories. I'm not going to do it. Because I received a call from an attorney, an email from an attorney that watched that video, and he told me I'm crazy as hell for revealing a lot of the things that I revealed, because I can still be prosecuted for some of them crimes that I committed when I was a New York City police detective. So he admonished me not to discuss those things anymore. Even though I'm telling you, man, listen, you think the world will want to hear stories of a crack addicted salesman? That mm. Listen, man. Let me see what he say. All of this is normal to us New Yorkers. Oh, you a New Yorker? Let me see. But you're, I can't see it. Oh, hold up, wait a minute. I'm bugging the fuck out. Where's my hold on, man. I'm tripping. I can see it. People think I be bullshitting when I say I'm legally fucking blind. And I don't be bullshitting at all. That shit say. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens. All right, all right. I used to date a woman from South Jamaica, Queens. We lived together for, actually, I've had a few women from South Jamaica, fucking Queens. But your stories can reach all parts of the world on here. You live in Georgia? Okay, okay, okay. No doubt. So you a New Yorker that moved south like me. Okay. Enough respect. Yeah, so I will start out my story time with my first time running away from home. It was Thanksgiving of let me see, 76 and 10 is 86 minus 3. It was the summer. It was the winter of 83. You see how I do my math and shit? I'm dyslexic. That's another issue in my life. Yeah, I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I was like 10. So it was the Thanksgiving 1983, November 1983. It was already snow on the ground. My grandmother, who passed away in 2003. So that's how many years later? 30? 20 years? I can't fuck. What that shit say? Got a comment. Hold on. I hit you up on the talk a minute ago. Was telling you all my family from Andrew's the next town over from me, bro. We talked about that. See, I don't have no short-term memory. See what I'm saying? I'm a brain cancer survivor. I done had 2 brain surgeries, but my short-term memory, I also have these fucking seizures, which I feel like one is coming on since that brain surgery. Yeah, but I don't remember that though. But you family though, Spoon Tray. You fam. Um, Thanksgiving, 1983. My grandmother was visiting from New York, from South Carolina. Grandmother had raised me. Grandma Ethel, she was visiting New York. It was like her first or second time in New York, and I wanted to see my grandmother. I wanted to have Thanksgiving. She was at my Aunt Verna's house, and I wanted to see my grandmother for Thanksgiving. And my mother did not celebrate Thanksgiving as she was a Jehovah's Witness. I know, laugh out loud. When I was young, only fun we had was the skating rink in Kingstree. Damn, they had a skating rink in this raggedy motherfucking Kingstree. I live in Kingstree. So my grandmother was visiting from St. Stephen, South Carolina. Story time. I'm 7 years old. And my mother did not celebrate Thanksgiving. My grandmother was visiting from South Carolina. And she was visiting for Thanksgiving. And my mother and my aunt lived 2 buildings away from each other. Always. Aunt Verna lived in 175 to this day. And my mother lived in 170, which is directly across the street. Windows were across the street from another on different floors, directly across the street from one another. And then we got uppity and then we moved into 125 on the corner building. It's a nice fucking building, you know what I'm saying? Huge apartment. So we were living in 175 at the time. So I called myself running away. Um, my mother told me I couldn't go and spend the night with Aunt Verna because it was Thanksgiving and she don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So I ran away. No shoes, 7 to 8 inches of snow on the ground, and I ran away. I didn't have time to get my shoes because my mama was whooping my ass. That's a whole nother story. The ass whoopings that I endured as a child. Because my mama was whooping my ass, so I didn't have time to get my shoes or coat. So I ran away and I wound up where? At Aunt Verna's house for Thanksgiving. So my mother, after a couple of hours, came across the street and got me. And when I say got me, she fucking got me, bruh. She whooped my ass from Aunt Verna's door threshold, apartment threshold, to the apartment threshold across the street. Okay? tear my ass up in the snow. I mean, Tam, I don't even remember what she was beating me with, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was an extension cord because that was her. That was her go-to. Fucking brown extension cord. To this day, I don't buy brown fucking extension cords because they fuck with me. But took that ass whooping, and she went to sleep. So that night, I packed me a bag. Got my mother. First thing I did was put my motherfucking shoes on. Okay, that's the first goddamn thing I did. I put my shoes on, packed me a bag, and tiptoed out the motherfucking apartment. 7 years old now. I ran away. I was sleeping in the 2-train subway station for, it was like 6 or 7 days before somebody noticed, they noticed this kid going down there with fucking, yo, listen. Okay, so during that week, 7 years old, I said, you hear me? 7 years old. We was on Thanksgiving break or whatever, so there was no school. I remember this shit. I was going to PS 161 on Crown Street. Okay. I had a flash just now. I'm sorry, y'all. So where was I? Y'all gotta help me because my short-term memory is fucked up. Anyway, PS 161 Crown Street. So anyway, I ran away. I packed a bag and ran away that night. This was Thanksgiving night. Same night. Probably around 11:30, 12 o'clock. So this is the end of November. I slept in a 2-train subway station for about 6 or 7 days before somebody noticed me. Oh, they noticed me because I was bringing in, like, food and stuff. Because when my mother went to work, I would go back to the house and grab shit like food and shit like that. And that's what I did. I was a latchkey kid. I had a key to the fucking house, to the apartment at 7 years old. I was growing from 7, man. I'm telling you. All right. So my stepfather smoked Newports. So that's how I started smoking Newports at the age of 7 years old. I had my cigarettes in the subway. I had my matches. I didn't have matches back then, little white matches. I had my comforter down in the subway, and I had a few little friends, the little rats that was friends, because they ain't bothered me. So the whole reason that I ran away was because I was running away from this religion, to Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay? My mother was a Jehovah's Witness, and I didn't like that shit. From the age of 7, I knew that shit was a fucking cult. It says, Bishop got up out of there. You damn right. Fuck that shit. So I'm in the subways, and somebody noticed me bringing in whatever I was bringing in, and they told the transit police. So the transit police came down there, chased me as far as they could. I'm not talking about in the subway. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me digress. I'm talking about in the tracks, not sitting up there on the bench where the train come in the platform. I'm not on the platform. I was living in the fucking tracks. Okay? You on the platform, that you gonna be seen. Somebody gonna discover you. So the police chased me or into the tracks or whatever. I did the typical white girl. Excuse me, that's not cool on YouTube. I did the typical movie scene, falling down. The police grab me up. They take me and they put me in Kings County Hospital, Kings County Mental Hospital, because I ain't had no idea nothing. At fucking 7 years old, I didn't have a goddamn, ID card, so that's where they took me. So it was local, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on Hawthorne Street between Bedford and Rogers in Brooklyn. Kings County was right around the fucking corner as you come up the stairs. So that's where they took me, and that's where they held me. So, of course, it was in the psychiatric ward until they could find out who I was. So when they found out who I was, however system, whatever system they used back then or whatever, they returned me to my mother. Yeah, they returned me to my mother. So, returned me to my mother. I'm back in school, going to PS 161 on Crown Street in Brooklyn. So I was a huge 7-year-old. I mean, if anybody who knows me watch this video who knows me from when I was a kid, I was huge. You know what I'm saying? So my mother drove an Oldsmobile Omega at the time. It was a very small Oldsmobile car. And I used to steal her car and drive it to public school 161 and park in Teachers Park. I always carried a briefcase because I used to do this shit as a kid called field service. Uh, as a Jehovah's Witness, you go out and you knock on people's doors and you minister to them at the door, okay? You share scriptures with them and you try to start a Bible study. I was doing that shit since 5. So I was already 2 years into that. So I had my little briefcase. It was a Coach briefcase too. My mother got me a Coach fucking brief. I can't remember I think it was called the Secretary. So anyway, I used to put my school books in that. And now, listen, my mother didn't drive to work. You know, she didn't drive to work. She used mass transit. So her car, and she had a parking spot for a car that she, that she had. And her keys were always hanging up on the wall in the kitchen. She was really an idiot. Love my mama, but she just hung her fucking keys up. Oh, no, she wasn't an idiot. She just didn't think that her fucking 7-year-old son would be stealing her fucking car. So, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, I used to drive to public school at 7 years old, stealing my mother's car. Oldsmobile Omega. So, anyway, yada, yada, yada. Why did I tell y'all that? Oh, so one day, one day I was chased by the police and I damaged my mother's car. This had to be December of 1983. I was 7 years old. Yeah, December of 1983. Right after I got out of Kings County mental G building, they called it G building. I was going back to school. And so the police decided that they wanted to chase me, because I guess they saw that a kid was fucking driving a car in Brooklyn, New York. What'd that say? What religion are you? I'm not any religion. I'm an agnostic. I'm a non-believer. Yeah. But my title is Reverend Dr. John David Wilkerson, DD, Doctor of Divinity. I say the DD is defunct, because I don't fuck with that shit no more. But anyway, the police chased me. This is in December of 1983, and I never crashed a car, nothing like that. I put the front right corner lamp. That's it. That's the only thing that was fucked. And the police did that. I didn't even do that shit. So, of course, they put me in custody, and my mother she worked for the police department, so I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. They took out a PINS petition, person in need of supervision, and they took me from my mother and took me to a foster home after the police chase. Story time. I think that's all I'm gonna give y'all for tonight. And when I start back on the next episode, I'm going to give y'all part 2 of how I entered into the New York City foster care system. But that's it for the night, y'all. All right? I'm going to start this little story time series and see how that does. And that's it. That's all. Thanks, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hey, if you want to contribute to the channel, you can support me at Cash App, $ Indomitable Taxi. Say it with me. INDOMITABLETAXI. Indomitable Taxi. I'm going, y'all. Church.